Good morning. Evening. It's after 12. Is it okay if we give them another 5 minutes, the other members to join in a meanwhile?
Yes, we can so long.
Thank you. Let me confirm you did receive the checklist, the business administration checklist. If you haven't, please just check your emails.
Sorry, this is Precious. You said, did we receive what?
Business administration checklist.
Okay, let me check.
Okay. Remember, we are recording the sessions and we will publish it on our YouTube account. But everything else that we speak about is not necessarily confidentiality as such. But I guess some of the things that will come out might actually be personal. So just say the stuff that we will be discussing, if it's personal, it will then help somebody else, right? So the agenda for today, I'm gonna take each of you to share your notes. Apologies, I'm still not 100% okay, but I'm way better than I was 2 weeks ago. So I'm still coughing a bit. So apologies for that. So one, you're gonna share your notes. When you are sharing the notes with others, the other participants need to add your notes in. And you're also gonna listen to them and add in your notes. We are learning from each other. And you will also have addition from my side in terms of the notes. And we will talk also about the assignment, we'll talk about the checklist, and also the templates that I will provide to you guys. Okay, so that's for today. It's a group coaching session, which means we're trying to make sure that we allow a smaller group, because we are a big group, to be able to then share which areas we are struggling in, so that we can be able to get to resolve them and assist. But also this allows us to be able to, for me to see what else can be done in designing programs like this, but also working with entrepreneurs on these issues. Okay, I'm gonna double check with Denise in relation to that checklist. In a meanwhile, let's hear Asanda sharing what has she learned, how far is she doing, has she done the assignment, which areas are you struggling with? We're checking in. Asanda?
Good evening, guys. Yes, I am done with my assignment and I submit it as well. What assignment has taught me? assignment has taught me that I mustn't cheat on my books, on my bookkeeping for my business, because I usually to do my business bookings, and then I left them on halfway. So the assignment gives me a full information about the running of the business. That the business, you can probably run it up until the business comes as well, run you and pay you. I wasn't know that about anything about tax and the stuff. I was ignoring actually. So it's what I learned on my assignment, that to get in details of my business, that is what it can gain me more than the amount I get in my business. And I need to 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 look at the amount I'm doing at my business. I mustn't just grab the money I get in my business and just put it in my pocket, as I usually was doing before. And I was doing my bookings up until I just feel to left them on halfway, because of I don't want to pay the accountant. I get tired to pay accountant. I don't know why. Um, Actually, the assignment, I can say it teach me very important things about the business. That the business is not just um, a thing that you can just take it easy. Whereas that sometimes we as I am Asanda, I just being happy to the amount I was doing a day, because the amount I was doing a day is such a big amount and they make me crazy. I didn't care. I just spend whatever I want. So now I did see on the COVID time that the thing I was doing to just grab the money and do whatever I want, it kills my business as well, because my business, it ends up doesn't have a capital anymore. And because on that time I was at the COVID time, I just sit at home and then I end up eat the capital as well. So assignment teach me I don't know what I can explain about this even the whole session. Now I have to start again over, and then I have to go grab my books over again and look back the amount I was doing. I see that if I miss a lot if I do follow all the rules of the business, and I also do follow my goals than to do my needs. I should be far than on my business.
Thank you, Sister Asanda. Thank you, noted. Okay, let me move to Patricia. Patricia?
Hi, Precious, and hi, everyone. You're with me. It's a disaster.
Why is it a disaster?
Yo, Precious, you know, with my taxes, one of the companies that I had, I stopped operating with it, I think 2-3 years ago, and I was not filing my tax returns. So now every week they're sending me this SMS, please phone us. I tried to phone them, but I couldn't go through. And I tried to find somebody in the accounting field to assist me with that. I think hopefully by the end of this year, I'll be on the right track. Hopefully so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the stuff about a mess and the calls. Do you know where to start with the mess? Do you know where you're gonna start? Are the office, receiver of revenue offices too far for you?
They're not far from me. is the work that I'm doing besides the business that I'm having. I am at work at 7:30 and I knock off at 4. Hence, I tried to get somebody to help me with the taxes. But I have taken leave from next week Monday so that I can be able to deal with the whole thing and see how far I can go with it. Hopefully I will win. Hopefully so.
Okay, sis. Let's take it from there then. That's fine. Jabu?
Thank you, Precious. Good afternoon, everyone. It has just been a refresher, I think, for me, the session and the assignment. You know, I think when it comes to compliance, when you deal with big businesses like MTN, then you are forced to comply in order to, you know, to be on their, to still be their partner. So when it comes to that, I'm okay, I guess. I think my biggest challenge, and I know we are not discussing other issues now, but my biggest challenge is sales and marketing.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, we will cover some of the issues. You will see, we will cover that in pricing. Great.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's my biggest issue
right now. Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Kaba, anything that you want to share with us? What have you learned and what is on your action list? And how are you feeling?
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello, Sis Precious. It's a problem with me. There are 2 lessons about the compliance. I couldn't go through. I had a problem with the network and the load shedding and everything. So I did struggle also to get the recordings and stuff. So I'm actually blank. I couldn't even get a chance to do the assignment and everything. Yeah, just that's my problem.
Okay, that's okay. Don't worry. You will catch up, but you need to have a plan to catch up. Do you have a plan to catch up?
I'm actually for now relying on the recordings. Maybe if I could get the recordings and go through the material, and yes, and actually I was thinking also to get engaged a lot on the group chat, maybe to get some of the guys to maybe to help me somehow where maybe I couldn't understand. Yeah, that's actually my plan for now.
Okay.
I don't know whether could be something
yeah, it's not going to help much. However, what I wanted to say was you're going to need to have a clear plan to catch up so that you don't get left behind when you have disruption relating to either internet or maybe electricity. But when you don't have a plan, then you're going to keep on leaping and not being on top of things. Guys, you're going to need to take it serious because it will boost your confidence. It will help you to have a clarity on what you need to do and how you need to address issues that are in your business. If you come to sessions like this, you had not prepared or read the material, you have not done the assignment, then you are treating it like a lecture. Then it's just listening and doing nothing. All of you should have prescribed on Finance Success YouTube account. so that when we load the information, but also you can go back to the content that is sitting there, because it is categorized in different sections. I am gonna share the link on the WhatsApp of the channel. But again, it also means you really have to just make time. You have committed to get into this program. You took somebody else's spot. Guys, this program is too expensive for you not to use it at the maximum. Okay, let's take this serious and make sure we're prepared. But when we are missing this, use the weekend then to catch up.
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa, ngiyabonga Sis Precious. I
So,
hear you.
great. Okay. Okay, this group doesn't have a lot of issues on let me share my notes. How many of you have partners, partnership partners? How many?
Probably alone on my business. I don't have a business partner. Actually, if you're asking the business partners.
Okay, who has business partners? Who has business partners?
No, I don't.
Okay, no one has. Okay, that's fine. So you don't have business partners, that's okay. So you just need them to keep in mind that the business model that you are building, it then means whoever that you bring on board, they either going to be brought in as either as an employee or as a contractor, or you can still bring someone as a direct. You can still bring people as a direct without them having a shareholding. And I also just wanted to make sure that there is a clear understanding that the shareholders are the investors, they are the founders, they get paid based on dividends. They are paid based on dividends. And then the directors are paid based on salary or director's fees. Okay, there is a hand on Asanda. Please go ahead, Asanda.
I don't know whether I went forward or Sis Precious. There is a thing I forget. Another thing I'm struggling on is this issue of the UIF for my employees, for my workers. Actually, I've got 8 of them, but my issue is it's only 4 of them who are permanent. The other all of them, I just take them when it's needed. Like for instance, I take them only end of the month, week, when it's busy. So on that assignment, I didn't understand if do I need them as well to register them for UIF, or they are like they are just under contract. I don't know whether you understand my question.
No, I do understand that. Thank you. Okay, so do you have your notes on employees tax, which is module, I think module 5 or 4? Do you have module 5 and 4? Asand?
Oh, okay. I don't think I have module. I only have module 4.
You must have module 3, 4,
Yes.
5,
Yes.
and 6.
Okay.
Please go through that and get those modules. Number 2.
Okay.
EUIF says legislation EUIF Umuntu who works less than 24 hours a month akekho eligible for ukuthi register for UIF. Umuntu a foreigner on contract also
Yes.
are not eligible. And there's a whole list of others. But I think the two that I'm talking about are more talking to your environment. Okay, have a look at the module. I think it's module 4, an employer, information. Just go through that. You will find that information that I'm talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's talk about Asanda. While we are on here, you are saying you fired the accountant. Now you are realizing. And then you, Patricia, saying just things are just a mess. I just want to make sure that you guys understand that how you are in one area, which is just being disorganized in your business, is also how you are managing in your own life. And I know this does not sit well with people. People will say, but Precious, generally in admin, But then you should have never called yourself a direct. You should have gone and looked for someone who's a direct who will then do the administration. I think we also have to raise our standards on what to expect from ourselves, and therefore also have expectation of what to expect from the world. So we have big hearts, and we wanna one day having our businesses running. We are running multi-millionaire businesses and having our financial freedom, but we are not willing to do the work that it takes to earn that money. So we're gonna need to change how we see things, and really also reflect, Sis Asanda and Patricia, and maybe even with Kaba, reflect on what has led to this point, and what are the things that you didn't follow through, and why you didn't follow through. Because we can blame ignorance in other instances, but you see, ignorance does not go well when there's accountability. Accountability applies and says, we're responsible 100%. Where I'm at in my endeavors, where I'm at in all who I am right now, I'm 100% responsible for the result I have. I'm 100% responsible for where I am at. So when we have that, we then take accountability of taking action. And I'm glad, Patricia, you are working on that. You're gonna start working on that from next week. So when you go to receive of revenue, you're gonna ask them to basically check your company, but also check your own personal taxes. So always, when you look at your business, do not just look only at your business in terms of taxes, but also look at your own personal capacity. I also just want to say that one of the biggest challenges that we have seen is really around people not choosing the right partners. And half of the time, 50% of the time, it's because we ourselves as entrepreneurs, we didn't know or we didn't understand what we needed to bring to our business. So we approach partnerships or shareholding in a very informal way. I generally say how you should approach partnerships and shareholding arrangements, to treat them the same way as you treat when it's in personal relationships. You should have the same approach. So there's a dating time, which is basically courting, and then there's time to paying a malobola, there's time to negotiate, and there's time to then sign up the deal, kind of thing. It's okay, we are getting married, and then the ceremony. to get married. So you gotta need to then understand that if you get you come across someone and you get too excited, you are basically throwing yourself in terms of still in a honeymoon a season or dating season, and yet you are signing up millions of deals and you don't even know who you are, who you have on the table of the boardroom. So it is important that you engage and go through the processes, and those processes will mean you take the MOI, you put it on the shareholders agreement. From the shareholders agreement, you make sure every line makes sense and it's easy to implement, but you also make sure that the partner, that partner that you're bringing on board, also have the will in place that has the same wording as what is sitting on the shareholders agreement. And then the CM documents also are updated accordingly, and including obviously the arrangement that you have made with whoever is your partner in your own personal capacity, i.e. you have to share the shareholders agreement with your partner at your own personal capacity, especially if you are married in community of property. Okay, and then we also just wanna raise some of the matters that came through as the issue relating to the assignment. Diego Jabu, please come through.
Sorry, before you continue, before you move away from bringing a partner on board, I just need to find out, because you've just outlined that process. But in certain instances, you'll find that you need to move with lightning speed in terms of bringing that partner in either into organization or having a joint venture. And I would assume you would treat the joint venture the same way as well. So how do you deal with these issues when there is time pressure in terms of that project, and you need to get partners quite soon, and there isn't any time to court each other?
No problem. You then will have something which we call it cool-off period. That's number one. Number two, you also make sure that where there's disagreement, there is someone who will supersede. So generally on JVs is 50-50. You then make sure that it's not 50-50, it's 51-49, the arrangement, so that you have a majority voting rights. The other thing that you can also make, which is number 3, make sure that where there's disagreements, even if they're operational, you will bring the arbitrator, you appoint the arbitrator way up front. You don't wait when there's a problem. The arbitrator can be an accountant or a commercial lawyer.
Thank you very much. That helps.
Sure. Are there any other questions? It seems like, based on what you guys have shared, okay, there are 3 more people that joined. Let me allow them to share what they have learned and what is all sitting on their action list, and also how is the material? Is it easy? Is it a lot? Kedibone, please come through.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this course has opened my eyes. I've learned a lot. I've learned that we need to be able to register our businesses. We need to take care of all the SARS issues. And we also need to be able to know what is our duties as directors in the businesses. We must be able to comply with the laws, all the laws of the business. And yes, it opens our eyes. And also we know that it's not the people will not know you if you don't communicate, and there are so many ways of communicating through social media. Some of the platforms of the social medias we didn't know, so we know some of them. Even that it's so difficult to be able to use them. We are still learning. And but we're hoping that we'll get there with your help. So it is worth it. It is worth it. We've learned a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kedibone. May I take Mahlatse to actually share what's happening, what have you learned, what is on your action list, what do you need support in? Thank you. Mahlatse, are you able to talk or you're unable to talk? Please just type maybe on your chat box then. Wezo, please come through then. Wezo. Hey guys, are you joining this just for EEE attendance regis? Mahlaj. Okay, that's in
Hi, Precious.
Hi.
Sorry. Hi, ma'am. Sorry, man, for the delay. Hey, my network is not quite good from my side.
Okay. Also,
that's why I keep on buffing.
Oh, okay. Now I was asking, we're sharing notes on what have we learned, what is sitting on our action, what are the key areas where we are struggling to implement, but also just to make sure that everyone has done the assignment.
Oh, okay. At the current moment, in terms of understanding what this program is all about, and what we have covered thus far in terms of putting all your books in order and understanding what are the tax implication and all that that pertains to labor, in terms of your labor, force. It's just for me to have the reason why I'm saying, sorry, man, I'm just kind of disturbed. What I've just gathered is just to get my books in order and understanding how what the functionalities of these things mean and how to go about looking after your HR component, and then also understanding the tax implications. That has opened up my eyes to what I've already knew, and also to the slogan of the program, whereby you have to view it more or expose yourself to more in order to make the noise into oneself, into one wants to do within his sphere of business. So that has enlightened me in that score at the present moment, and looking forward to hear more in terms of the finances and other sectors that we're going to cover. That's what I am at this moment.
Thank you so much, Reza, for making that. Guys, remember, you're supposed to be mentioning things that you have learned so that We update our notes because we're learning from each other. Let me move to my class though. Thank you. Mahlaje,
Yes,
ninjani,
khona kunjani?
siyaphila.
Yeah,
How are you doing? We're checking in.
yes, me, I'm fine. I learned a lot about how the business is being registered and the QUADA, UIF, and all of the stuff that were necessary for my business to grow. It shows me I was not knowing about the business need consultant. No, I know, or how the business, when it's having a consultant, how can you as a director run a smoothly business for yourself?
Great. Thank you so much, Mahlaje, for that. But Jabu, you said earlier that for you it has been a revision. Is there anything that you would like to share on what has been your revision notes?
It's I think for me, it was just being the reminder to being consistent with the tax for the company, because you know, sometimes I get reminded by one of the business partners to say you are no longer tax compliant. Check your tax status. So for me, it's just to I've just learned to diarize those and make sure that I proactively do them, file them, so that I remain tax compliant. And the rest of the other things, they're fine. And my background is professionally I come from human resources background, so most of those I know. The UIF, the letters of appointment, and what needs to be in there. I know the basic conditions of employment. I know the Labor Relations Act. So for me, it's just now, trying to stay on top of the tax, the tax side of the business.
Good. So which means then you can use the checklist that I was talking about to then help you to make sure you schedule it on your Outlook, right? To send up your reminders.
That's yes. That will help. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Jack?
No, so I wanted to say as well, and that's why I was happy when you raised an issue, surrounding bringing partners and that, because in my space, sometimes you just need to bring on board someone with a specific skill that's required in that specific project, as a component of a project that you are that you are currently doing. So that was important, and that's why I asked the follow-up question as well, to say, what happens when you don't have the time, and what happens when this is a long-term project, and I'm grateful that you highlighted those three things, because I always thought HIV is 50-50, and that's a standard.
No, HIV can even be 30%, 70. HIV does not mean equal.
Angithi, when you talk to someone, so everybody is wants to look after their own interest, and the conversation, for this to be fair to be fair to everybody, let it be. So I'm glad, I'm glad that you have
Yes, remember,
solved that
members,
problem for me.
it has to be about the contribution each member and the role each member that is coming on that arrangement is going to play. Mina, in my endeavors with business, it has been, if I brought work, I will decide whether I want to be active in it, in that project or not. There are projects that I have referred to people which I only just had a referral fee. There are projects which I said I want to be involved, and I specify the amount and the percentage that I want, because that is how I had valued what I'm going to bring on board. Then those partners will say either yes or no or negotiate. So it is important also that we know who we are, so that we can then also claim the value that we're worth in the business. Okay. Okay, great.
That's great. Thank you.
Those who join late, do you guys have partners? Mahlatso, Kedibone, do you have partners or people that you are in business with?
Yes, I do have people, I do have partners.
Your partners that you have, do you have shareholders agreement in place?
Do we have, pardon?
Shareholders agreement.
Yeah, no, we don't have it, but our memorandum of understanding, the one that we got from the when we registered the business.
I get it, Bonnie. That's not it. That's not it.
Okay.
You need to have a shareholders agreement.
Oh, okay.
The shareholders agreement is an arrangement now between you guys as directors. The stuff that is within CICP is just saying Utandi own 40%, Kedibone owns 60%, Ubanban own 30%. That's all it says. But there is a whole list of other things that the directors need to agree, or shareholders need to agree on.
Oh, okay.
Mine, it says 100% owned.
The only thing you need to make sure is that you have a will in place when Asisi Asanda that does say, should something happen to you, what will happen to your company? That's the only thing you need to do now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Patricia.
Okay, so Kedibone Sisi, you're gonna need to go back to the drawing board. How you do the shareholders agreement? You first take the items that are sitting on the MOI and discuss how you will execute those and put them on the shareholders agreement, and then go through the typical items. I will share the link that has a presentation and that has a link of a template of shareholders agreement. And in that shareholders agreement, there will be also stuff that is painted black. It just means you have to put your own information on it.
Oh, okay, thank you then.
Okay. Why is it important to do a shareholders agreement? Is to regulate a relationship between yourself and your partners. Is to actually make sure that maybe one of your partners dies. You don't want to be seeing AMA members, a family claim right? You want to make sure there's proper process, or if something happens, what will happen to their shares. You also want to make sure that if the value of the business grows so much, you guys, you are protected. But there's a whole lot of reasons why you need to have shareholders agreement, guys. Okay. Okay. And those who have directors who do not have shareholding, you also need to make sure there's an employment contract, which is your director's arrangements. Now let's talk about the assignment. Who struggled with the assignment? Okay, let's do number 1. On the assignment, what's the answer?
Juristic person.
Yes, it's B.
Okay,
And
it's B and C.
and
C.
C, B and C.
Yes, great, good job. Number 2?
Number 2, is that something?
It's A.
A.
Great, good job. Number 3?
It's A as well.
It's B.
B.
Provisional tax is every 6 months. It can actually even be on the 3rd time because of how it works. Thank you. Who pays for VAT?
C.
Registered VAT vendors.
Yes, because you can
C.
only charge and pay VAT if you're a VAT vendor. Great job. Number 5?
It's B.
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 Great.
B.
And then just remember, this is compulsory. If it's mandatory, it's compulsory, which is mandatory. If it's voluntary, you can actually register when you exceed 50,000, or if you are importer or exporter. Okay. Number 6, what's the answer for 6?
It's A.
Great job. Number 7.
Number 7, it's A.
Okay, it's B, foreign
B.
working, which is B. Thank you. And then number 8.
It's B. Let
Yeah.
me
It's C.
explain for me there by the number 7, Sister Sharon, Sister Precious, please.
Oh, yes. Before, yes, the domestic workers were excluded, but they got included with the recent updating of the legislation. So it's foreigners that are actually excluded who are working on contract. Foreigners working on contract. Okay. Number 8.
Number 8 is C.
C.
Great job, C. Number 9.
A.
A.
Great job, A. Number 10.
It's C.
C, annually.
Definitely annually, because the RP6 is the one that gets to be sent by annually. And for income tax, it will be the monthly one, which is MP21, but that is as an employer. Great job.
Yes.
Number 11.
It's C.
The number 11 is A. COIDA, you will do it annually once a year around May or towards the end of May. Number 12.
A.
Number A.
Yes,
A.
A. Great. Good job, everyone. Thank you so much. So, many Sabani assignment. Because you guys have already got the answers. What's the problem?
No.
I already submit mine.
Yes. So, I don't, it's called a seven school.
No, I haven't submitted.
I
Ah?
submitted
No, I
mine
didn't
yesterday.
submit.
So Mbuzi.
I submitted mine yesterday as I see the due date is, they say it's first up to 6, but I said let me put it, yes.
Good student, Asanda. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Okay, I've covered the my notes. I've covered key issues on Companies Act. I've covered the assignment. I'm just gonna cover the issues relating to the checklist and compliance. But then also, you guys, please share what you would like us to discuss further. Okay, let's me check. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. I'm just gonna. Did you guys receive the email?
I will double check mine before. I didn't receive it, but I will double check mine after the session.
Let me also just contact to Denise. Let me switch off the phone here. Can all of you check and make sure you have received that email of that the business admin checklist?
No, I still haven't received it.
Okay, I am following up. Let me just make a phone call. There's a possibility that she might have just added it on the link without you guys taking into account, because you see, when you have a link, you're putting things in a folder. It doesn't notify the individual.
It will come straight directly from Dennis.
It's supposed to. I don't know how she's doing it. That's why I'm trying to call her.
There's no email from him today I received.
Okay, she's not picking up. Let me do this way. Let me just. In the meanwhile, can I take questions then for the sessions? For what are the things that you guys need help with?
Yes, my first question is, except salaries, what else you can do more to make your staff happy?
Oh, there is so much that you can do. Okay, there is absolutely so much. One, you can have awards for your staff, the best employees. You can do awards per month, and in return also accompany those awards with small gifts.
Yes.
Number two, you can also have recognition of performance. So have performance management and then reward people that are performing well.
Yes.
You can also have even some sort of incentives where that relates to that performance, where they will spend a day with you, or you will take maybe their family members to an outing. So the rewards can range based on your affordability. Or sometimes in other companies, they will gift their employees buy a book or buy them something, but it doesn't have to be something big, recognizing them. You can also make sure that you have a promotion scheme that says, if you have achieved the following, we will promote you to this position. So there is so much. It will be advisable for you to have an HR specialist who will understand how your business model or how you want to grow your business, so that whatever that you are incentivizing the individuals on also talk to your growth plan, to your succession plan, to your exit strategy.
Thank you, Sis Precious.
You're welcome. Okay, any other question? Okay, let me check what. Okay, so guys, the documents, please hold on 1 second. I don't understand. Let me just get. The documents, the checklist has been added to where you guys are assessing the documents. So you need to go to the folder that you are assessing your information in.
Another thing is precious. Why it's so difficult to apply for a trading pay?
For a
Trading pay.
trading day.
I've been applying for a trading pay. I think now it's a third year now. They always reject my trading.
I don't understand what do you mean trading day.
Trading pay is the application you are doing when you are looking for a permit.
A permit for what?
For the business. They say first you must do a trading day. You must apply for a trading day.
Angie, understand. Angie, understand. You will need to take the question back to the municipality because it depends on the bylaws of each local municipality.
Okay.
So you will need to analyze the bylaws and also the reasons for the rejection and then address it from that point of view.
Okay.
Okay. What else I wanted to share? Hang on. Okay. Okay, guys, I wanted to take you through it though, so that you can understand it. So entrepreneurs, can you just double check that the admin and business, it is on your folder where you were accessing the information? Can you go and check now while you are online? Okay, please check and let me know when you have checked and you found it. Entrepreneurs, hi Maria, how are you?
Hello, Precious.
We were sharing earlier our notes. What did you learn? What we're struggling with, so that we can use that as adding up on our own notes. Would you like to cover that part? On your side, what did you learn? What is on your action list?
I've learned a lot on the VAT. That is not compulsory when you don't have a certain turnover. But I have practical questions, like to do my own financials. How can I do it without using a practitioner? And how can I be a practitioner? Do I have to take certain classes or to have a license, something like that?
Okay,
to-
no, you don't need to. Give me a second, Maria. Denise has come back to me. Give me a second, entrepreneur. Okay, so Maria, no, you don't need to be an accountant to actually do, if you are at a position where you do not have money to afford to pay an accountant. What business are you in, Maria?
Actually, I'm doing the catering. I'm in the food and drink. I'm
So
trying
you're
to.
in a food and drink business. Do you have a shop that is running daily, or do you do only when there's a need?
I do it only when there is a need. But actually, I spoke to one manufacturer to make to industrial, how to say it, to make it in bulk. So we are working on it since.
But that is not going to change your sales. It's still one transaction, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if I was running your business, it's only ad hoc. How I do my recording, then I will not even need to have an Excel spreadsheet. Instead, what I will do, I will buy a booklet from a stationery shop that has a duplex or duplicate copies, so that when I write the invoice, I can then give the invoice to the customer and I retain a copy of it. And then at the end of the month, I will then take that book and summarize it in an Excel spreadsheet. So voila, I have the books.
Okay, it's also good that one.
And then make sure then also every month I collect the bank statement and file them on a PDF, back save them on a drive, or Google, a cloud drive. A cloud drive is anything on the cloud. There's so many platforms where you can save documents on the cloud and allow people to access them without them able to remove them. So end of the year, you can then appoint the accountant to prepare the financial statements, but you will already have all this information in the records. Okay.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Guys, do I have any questions? So Denise said she has already loaded this information on your folders. What I do need you guys to do is to go through the folder and make sure that you are able to access the other information. Great. Okay, can I then, what else are we going to talk about? You guys don't have much to say. You know, the other groups were sharing quite a lot. So the lesser you share, the less I have to share too. That's how it works. Because yeah, it's a exchange learning. Okay, great. Jabu has
Hi, Precious.
you got it. Great. Okay, guys. Good.
Hi, Precious.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, it's just a question or just a random one.
Yeah.
I'm in the agricultural space where I buy and sell pigs and then I breed them. But as the process I was breeding them, it was quite coming okay, going good. My sows were littering quite a number of piglets, you know, up until last year in December when the swine flu hit us here in the Western Cape. And then I lost all my stock due to it. Mind you, with the working environment that we are under, we are working on a municipality land, that we have agreed with the city of Cape Town. That was about 10 years ago. However, with the land grab that has occurred within the Kylie Chamakasa area, where squatter camps invaded the particular area that we were occupying as small, so-called small farmers. That has impacted us on the biosecurity measures, whereby all the squatter camps were all around our so-called pig houses and our small holdings that we were occupying in there. So that has affected us quite hugely. However, the question that I want to pose, I would like to come up with a strategic plan or a business plan that is going to talk more of a language that is expected from the financial side in terms of running the agribusiness, especially the piggery. And that is where that I found out when I approach the financiers, there are things that are always crop up, even though I do keep the records and keep all my, the necessary paperwork that needs to come, or one needs to have. But I seem to fall short when it comes to convincing people in order to take my project into another level whereby I will be able to have sufficient land with water and electricity. However, this particular juncture, we do have water, we do have electricity. However, the environment around our space is not conducive for what we're doing. So this is then I'm asking whether, is there a way, or I'm going to put this, a strategic way that I can put my business into a financial mentality of understanding of what I'm currently doing. That's where I'm currently stuck at this particular moment. I don't know whether my question does make sense to you, Precious.
No, it does. But maybe the question I want to ask you, do you know someone who has built a big business in what you're doing?
Those that I know, they no longer. They've passed on, they since passed on. There's some those that I do know. However, with the guys that we met into these agri conferences and agri meetings from the Elsenberg, the Western Cape government, ma'am, there's still those kind of boundaries where you still, you try to open up or you try to create a relationship with the so-called an Afrikaner. But there was a guy that he's based now about 200 km from where I'm at in Swellendam. That is doing quite okay. His name is George, but George, his health is not quite good also. Those are the people that I know, but at this particular moment,
just answer yes or no, because then it talks to your network. It then talks to your network. So my suggestion for you is expand your network. Find people that have succeeded in what you want to do and follow up on those people. Yes, the person might not have a good health, but maybe that's an opportunity, a potential for you to then come closer to them because you can buy that business should that person exit. So, so it's how you look at things and how you process things that is going to need to change. So, and also how you then, how you pass through the boundaries for you to feel uncomfortable, for the other person also to feel that you have a value to add.
Okay.
So because really network is about that. The person must feel that they will be missing something by not saying yes. But you also have to feel that I will be missing something by that person not being in your life. That's networking.
Okay. I get you.
And some mentors, they don't even need to have had a shareholding, or they don't even need to have known you. You can just you can have different types of mentors. There's ones that you pick up the phone and call. There's ones that you will actually go to them and sit down with them. There's one that when you are stuck on a specific thing or related thing, that's what you will actually discuss with or even follow up, or whichever case. But the means of communications should not restrict you in able to access the resources that are available to you.
All right. All right.
guys,
I think I think I do have someone to contact.
Yes. So maybe the guys that you have met in these conferences, you can start looking through their business cards and see who can help you with what. You don't need to go to one person for everything that you need. You could go for different things, for two different people,
Yes,
so that you
yes.
don't feel
Okay.
that you are overburdening the other person.
Yes, yes. Okay, let me try that angle and see how is that gonna take me.
Yes, yes. So
All right.
yeah, I think you'll be fine.
I'll
Okay,
start tonight.
great. That's what we want to hear. Okay,
Yeah, I'll
I'm
start tonight.
checking. Mahlatsa, you've
sure.
shared something on the WhatsApp. I don't know what you mean, backyard farmer, Mahlatsa. I don't know what that means. Backyard farm. I think all the farmers are the same, but there is small scale farmers, there is big scale farmers. And then in other instances, there is also substance farmers. Substance farmers are generally the farmers that consume what they farm. So I'm not sure, Matlete, how to advise you, because anything is an advantage or disadvantage to anyone based on the goals you have set. It's the goals that direct you whether that thing is an advantage or a disadvantage. If you want to have something like myself, a subsistence gardener who eat what I plant, I don't sell my stuff. Instead, I actually end up sometimes giving it away. That's okay, but it's because my goal was never to sell. But if you want to sell, you have sales goals, you have market share goals, then the strategy and advantage and disadvantage can then be looked at in that perspective. Matlaza, does that make sense? Maria?
Yes. I wanted to complete what I said before. By talking about my background first, because actually I'm doing this business, but I also study. I have a bachelor in accounting, and I'm studying finance actually. So I want to do a business according to what I study. That's why I say I wanted to do my financial myself. And going forward, I want to, what to call it, to create a microfinance if the policy allow me. So this is what I have in my mind. I'm trying to nurture it, and I don't know if you can coach me on it or mentorship me. Yeah, that's my
Okay.
vision.
So first, you doing your accounts.
Hello?
You doing the accounts have no bearing on you creating a product where you're going to providing loans to other people. Each of these decisions don't have a bearing on one another. But the creation of the accounting reports, like I was explaining, is really about making sure that you understand what is actually going on in your business so that you can make an informed decisions. Now, for providing loans to entrepreneurs, I will need to know what is your business model is. I will also need to know which regulations you're gonna need to comply with to be able to actually be recognized as a financial service provider. I'm also sitting in the audit committee in the board of FSBA, which is FCA, Financial Services Board. So maybe just touch base with me on your business model but also the regulatory arrangements that your loan is going to be targeting, but also just the process you're going to follow to make sure this business is sustainable. Now I'm going to move to Kedibone.
Thank you, Precious. I'm just gonna ask you something that is not in this teaching today. Yes. We as a cooperative has registered with the CSD. So they requested a quotation from us to provide them with wheelchairs. So we quoted, and we've won the bid. So I just want to know, because we don't have that money to purchase those wheelchairs, is there any institution which can help us maybe with the money to purchase, and then we pay them back, because they've already sent us the letter of approval.
A letter of approval for what?
For the order.
Okay.
They've approved our order.
Okay, for you guys to buy, but who's gonna?
Yes,
pay?
for us to
But
buy.
who's gonna pay?
The Department of Health.
When is Department of Health gonna pay?
They say in 3 days after the delivery.
So
They wrote on the letter of the letter of what do you call it?
So let me say this. There is a lot of falsified orders that have been flying around in public sector for the past 3 years. I will request, before you make any legal commitment to anyone, pick up the phone and confirm with the Department of Health direct the order.
Okay.
Get the purchase order and make sure the purchase order also, they will follow it up with the email. You then use that purchase order to then raise funds. You can Google purchase order invoices. I sit in a board where we provide purchase order invoices for funding. It's called the People's Funds.
Okay.
But there's lots of others that are in the market. You can then take that purchase order and then ask them someone to finance you based on what the Department of Health's order is. But first, make sure that that order is real. Yeah.
Yes, they did send us a request with our email, and
no,
they also
my
said,
dear. Hey, you don't know what the scams that have been going around. Make sure, just make sure. That email is coming from, you have spoken to somebody whom works in that department, you know the person's name, you write it down when you call that person, and just don't, the stuff we're receiving on emails is not safe. Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Precious.
Okay, who else? Okay. Is any other questions you guys have? Okay. What I wanted also to share. Oh, this question, I didn't answer it in another group. I wrote it down, but I didn't. Okay. I guess I'm gonna need to address it in a bigger group. I don't know when. I will have to figure out a way. Okay. Are there any other questions you guys have about implementing your compliance? Jabu, are you able to share, to read through and see that checklist is comprehensive? You can then use it to guide you on putting things onto your Outlook so that the Outlook set up reminders. Jabu?
Yes, I'm here. Yeah, no, it's very comprehensive, and it it breaks it down into whether it's a monthly or quarterly or annually, and there are different tabs here.
Yes, so
HR,
you can then
admin,
customize
legal.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
you can then customize it for your size of your business and add more things that you need to be complying with. You can also update it. I think I didn't include BE there. So you can add on a BE, what are the things that needs to be done on that front. There is other things that you can add in, but for my size of the business, based on my business model, my compliance is only limited to that.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. It's a very comprehensive template.
And then, so we've covered on the template, on the checklist, what I need to then, for you guys said you do have partners, that do have partners, please make sure that you're gonna build up and have a shareholders agreement in place. But those who are individuals in their businesses, you also need to work and do your will. Now, the will, make sure the copy of the will is not just with your spouse or your close partner, but it should be, maybe consider putting it as part of also of the banker. The banker, they do administration of wills, but they charge you, or also it automatically means you have appointed them as your estate, as an estate officer. So just be careful in signing anything where people are saying, come, we will do a will for you. Be careful, check the terms and conditions of that. So, because most lawyers, they will say, come, we'll do the will for free, but they're actually then taking your right away to appoint who will be the executor of your estate. And of which, in this case, they have appointed themselves, or the state will then appoint. In most cases, if you have lawyers who drafted your letters, the state will not appoint another person because they self-appoint themselves. So just be careful about that. I generally say it's always better to appoint the executor to be from your family and then the family of your spouse, so that you have a balance of power and discussions. And also in your will, the executor can't be your spouse because your spouse is a beneficiary. So try also not to make your spouse to be an executor of your estate, because they are beneficiaries.
You can maybe put your kids as well, maybe one of them.
It depends on the maturity. As I said, avoid putting the beneficiaries to be the executor of the will. You take someone who's independent. You can even appoint your church pastor. You can appoint a lawyer that you know, an accountant that you know, but someone whom you know can be objective and make sure what is right is done right, and so on.
Okay. Just please, Precious, remind Denise to send me the.
She has already done, the stuff is on the folder. So go back to the folder that you obtained your documents in, you will find the rest of the material there for the other modules also. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's on which module?
It's not on the module, it's gonna be on other information, additional information.
All right then.
Okay, what else, guys, would you like to discuss? Anything else? Yeah, this group, the other group, we even overran with the time, but I guess we are not the same. We also are not experienced. So I'm led by you on what you want to discuss and what are the issues you're struggling with. Are we then done? Kwazi kwathuleka webantu.
Can I ask?
Yes, Jabu, go ahead.
Can I ask a question, which
Yes.
is an issue in the space that I'm in? Subcontracting.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
So subcontracting work to people, or are you being the one whom you are being given the work?
Yes, get the work and then you subcontract to
Okay,
other.
first of all, you gotta need to know what's the price. How much are they charging the client? So for example, if someone were to come to me and say, Precious, here is a contract that I wanna give you. You're gonna be my subcontractor. Ngithola umsebenzi waka MTN. Mina angeke ngiye kudeal nalo muntu ngingenayo i-full contract. Okay, what's the business model that you are working on this contract? Njengoba subcontract, how much are you getting versus how much I'm gonna charge?
Okay.
And I know abanye abazoyingena le. You might end up losing because abayingeni la. Then the next thing that I'm gonna say to you, you gotta need to know what is your price that you are willing to accept and the price that you are not willing to accept. Don't go to the negotiating table without having that in your mind. Because uzoyinqamula izandla, uyinqamula imilenze, you end up signing contract to deliver stuff that you are making loss in. And no wonder they're outsourcing it.
Okay, what if we are the contract?
The contract, you have to know your pricing and your costing. What is it that you are willing to accept? What is it that you are willing to walk away and not accept?
Okay.
But this also, when Jabu talks to what I normally tell entrepreneurs, don't go to the negotiating table ulambe kakhulu. Uyayizwa lento engiyishoyo?
Phela mawulambe kakhulu, you are forced to go to the negotiating table.
You are forced to go to negotiating, but to undercut yourself.
Yeah.
Mawulambe kakhulu uzokhuluma ngesisu, awuzukhuluma ngengqondo. And take deals that are gonna put you at the disadvantage.
How do you get around that?
You make sure your pricing is right. You make sure the scope is clear cut. What is your roles and responsibility and how that work will be executed, including interaction with the customers. So you do not leave anything out. So what I will do in most projects like that, I will say, we're gonna try the first 90 days. On the first month, we'll review and assess what are the things that needs to be changed. The second month, we will review and make sure that we are clear about the cost implication of those things. And then we will then update and amend for a long-term arrangement on that contract. So it really depends on how long also the contract is. If the contract is a very short contract, I make sure that my cost is right. You know, my pricing and my costing is right. So that I don't find myself or that I'm doing something that I'm making a loss in.
Okay. One question. So I might have my costing and right, and you know, and fall short in terms of, okay, what is my margin, which obviously you know, talks to the profit that I'll be making. Are there any industry norms regarding that, or is it depends on what I'm willing to take?
One, it's going to depend on the industry you are in. Number two, what are you willing to take within that industry? So in my industry, for example, the price range is set by professional bodies. So I know what's my rate per hour in the market, but I also know what value I bring into the market. So I don't mind going an extra 1.5 extra on my contract. Then I say 5,000 per session of whatever that I'm gonna do, right? And, but when I do not have work, I'm not busy, I'm willing to take 2.5. I don't mind taking 2.5. Someone paying me 2.5 is way better than nothing. So do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying, and it goes back to that question you
have to know
stomach.
your value. You have to know your value. You have to know your value. So there is work that I do. I also do like other training, like NEF. The NEF is paying me 1.7, right? But NEF participants only have access to some of my modules. I then cross-sell my book, and then I cross-sell my coaching. So basically, NEF, you kokelu 1,750 just to market myself. I'm being paid to market myself. But again, position kanjalo yini, and do I make sure there's an upsell or cross-sell? So there is jobs that I literally took, not because they were paying me what I was worth or they were even paying me, but it was gonna then position myself better. It was gonna expose me also to a different market than the current market I'm exposed to.
Okay. Let me make an example so that, you know, we talk about something, and that's very important, because I was so as you know, I'm in the telecommunication space, which is not what I studied, but yeah, but and I'm in the connectivity space where I have a deal with I have my partner MTN, so whatever that they have, I can sell, you know, to either individuals or businesses. And then I identified a gap in terms of the infrastructure, for example, the laying of the fiber, and I was like saying, okay, if I can, you know, get one deal that will open the door for me, it will position me to, you know, to get more into that space. And I think the most challenging thing is you know, I need to get in through somebody who has already had a contract. And those are some of the issues that I've experienced, where people and people just refuse to show me the contract, and I'm like, okay, here am I raised knowing what I know, and then then they're
But
like
hang on,
they're
you
high.
guys.
Yeah.
What
Yes.
does that tell you about that person?
Yes. No, I was gonna say. Then I walk away. Then I don't continue. I walk away, and then I start again. I start fresh again, and then I meet. So yeah, I think and talking about it now, it shows me the kind of people that I'm meeting in the network, in my network. So maybe I just need to reprioritize,
No,
creating
Jack.
this network.
You need to make sure when the first engagement you have with those individuals, you say to them, for me, transparency is currency, integrity is currency. So whatever that you will bring on board, I expect the same. It will make all these people that are not, they don't understand what transparency is, who don't have ethical conduct, to drop off. They won't even approach you anymore.
Okay. And sometimes I'm the one who's approaching them.
Fair enough. But if you're going to approach someone, you have to know, what are you willing to take? What are you not willing to take?
Yes.
Whether they disclose or not disclose. So mina angeke ngaba ne partner esiyana ku joint venture or as a subcontract, ngibe ngizazi ukuthi ngiyi-subcontract, ngingazi ukuthi uthola malini. I'm not here to make people money only. I also need to make money.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's where I am, and that's why I haven't even gotten into that space yet. But I haven't given up. I'm still pursuing
You
that.
will find the
that
right
goal.
people at the right time, Job. But when you yourself have a clarity, the universe is waiting for you to have clarity on what you want and how you want it. When you have defined that, you are going to get the right people.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, we are done then. Are we done now? What time are we finishing? 3:30? Or are we finishing now? I kind of have lost track of time now. Okay, are there any questions though? No one.
Me on my side, I don't have a question. I'm still learning.
Okay.
And I appreciate even the teaching time and the goals.
Great, you guys, we're gonna be stuck together for the next 2-3 months. So yeah, I'm with you and you are together on this. Just make sure you provide us with the feedback and evaluations and stuff. Make sure you keep on top of the work so that you don't remain behind. Asanda, please go through the folder. Make sure you have all those folders, the material 3, 4, 5, and 6, and catch up. Okay, use this time to catch up. And guys, those who have not done your assignment, submit your assignment so that we can also issue the certification of, I think, attendance, not competence, but just to know that you have gone through it. Is anything else? Let me see if I'm missing anything else from your side. Do you guys have any questions? It is also advisable, guys, for you guys to listen to other people's sessions, okay? Okay, I will load the stuff once I have had time to load all these recordings for you to go through. Okay, anything else, guys? Should we call it a day? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Goodbye for now. Bye.
Bye.